If you only watched the trailers of GTA 6 and haven't visited the website at all, you wouldn't know about the side characters of Grand Theft Auto 6. But it's actually very fun, interesting, and even revealing what missions we're gonna get, what gameplay mechanics are going to be in the game. So today I want to introduce you to these side characters, show you what kind of missions we can expect from them, and what kind of gameplay mechanics you will unlock after meeting these characters. Of course, the main protagonists are Jason and Lucia, but the game starts with Jason as far as we know. Even though there might be a prison intro for Lucia, and her origin story starts in Liberty City, which is the map of Grand Theft Auto 4, so we might revisit that place, which would be very cool. Jason's story starts in the Leonida Keys, the real-life Florida Keys, and he is here renting a house from this guy, Brian Heather. And Brian Heather gives this house basically for free as long as Jason does some missions and errands for Brian. So there we have our first suspect, Brian Heather, with his very militarily equipped third wife, and her name is Lori. As you can see, Brian is immediately not doing the most legal things, and Jason is gonna help out with those not so legal things because, as you can see, he is a military paratrooper, so he has seen some stuff in his origin story. One of the missions we see Jason do is go into this shop and receive the rightful money that is owed to Brian, apparently. And it reminds me a lot of Vlad from Grand Theft Auto 4 because he would have Nico do all sorts of errands as well, basically going into a little Chinese shop and throwing a brick through the glass so that the shop owners will give some money for protection. So basically, Brian is probably just like Vlad, making everybody scared, doing lots of illegal stuff, and in exchange for money, he will kind of leave them alone. If the people around the Leonida Keys don't pay though, then Jason goes there, slaps the dude, if not using the bat right there, and just takes the money and brings it right to Brian Heather. A big question about the mission structure is whether some of these missions are procedural or not. Procedural meaning that you can do these more like activities in the open world that are just introduced within missions. So the mission is a tutorial for it, then it unlocks the whole feature, and you can do it as many times as you want in all the places that it's available across the whole map. If you haven't played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas from 2004, this is basically the structure that the game was following. Basically, the open world had so many features and so many cool things to do that most of the missions you would do in the storyline were actually just kind of hidden tutorial missions weaving into the story that then unlocked cool features, and most of these features were actually already unlocked in the open world, but it just showed you how to do it within that mission. Other missions help you unlock certain things that then can be used in the open world, and by the time the game ends, you don't only are emotionally invested into all these characters, but you also know exactly how to maneuver into this whole big giant place that you can interact with. Brian Heather also goes along some trips with Jason, Jason being very protected with his body armor. Brian itself, not so much, as you can see. This is his favorite t-shirt because we see it everywhere. He's wearing the same thing here, so maybe this is actually the same mission that they're going on, because in this moment, and we'll get to that later in the story, Brian basically tells Jason that they, whoever they are, know your name, your location, and they know everything. So maybe Brian and Jason decide then and there that we gotta get rid of whoever the villain is of this mission that knows everything, and Jason gets to drive into Brian's car because from the looks of it, it kind of looks like they're driving in this car, which, man, the Vapid, it's such a dope model, man. It looks so cool. We can also see Jason and Kel Hampton, which is another side character, which is this dude right here, and we will get to him pretty soon because he's gonna introduce you to another very fun game mechanic that's coming back in a much more interesting way. You can see Jason and Kel loading up some product into a seaplane, and if you've seen seen any GTA 6 content, you will really notice this seaplane come back a lot. First of all, it's right here, but most notably in the Kel Hampton video, you can see that it's actually dropping off that product into the sea. And we do know that Kel and Jason also are fishing, so maybe they're using fishing as kind of a disguise for the police to see if the drug customers, I guess, are picking up the product. Because you gotta remember, the Leonida Keys is next to Cuba basically, or at least it's very close to it. And this again reinforces the drug running. Brian is fully exposed in this image, a full-on block of my cocaine that he's holding there while talking to this guy who is flying the plane. And the mysterious pilot is also shown in a lot of other screenshots. He's here in the background. We don't know his name or anything about him, but he always wears like this shirt and this hat. I mean, you can see Kel Hampton play golf with this dude in the background. He's always somewhere in the background scheming. Even right here where Jason and Kel are playing, and this guy is still here. He has a cool tattoo with palm trees and a building. Brian Hatter operates off of Brian's Marina, which is his own place where he can do whatever he wants basically. And from the inside, people are working on boats constantly. The last known mission with Brian Hatter is this one right here. You can see a buzzard flying through the Grass Rivers area. And Brian Hatter is shooting from a mini gun, like an assault turret or whatever, on the buzzard helicopter, while Jason is piloting. This makes me wonder if the Leonida Keys and the Grass Rivers with Brian Hatter will be the main introductory to actually flying a helicopter and a plane for you as a tutorial to follow inside a mission. For example, that helicopter mission we just looked at. We know Jason is a paratrooper, but paratroopers aren't known to be pilots. They are known to jump out of the plane. To become a paratrooper, soldiers undergo a specialized airborne training that teaches them how to pick and inspect parachutes, exit aircraft safely, control their descent when they're jumping down, land without injury of course, and quickly assemble their unit and begin their mission. Paratroopers often carry all of their combat gear, including weapons, ammunition, food, water, and communications equipment during the jump, which adds significant weight. So even though Jason is not scared of heights, he has probably never flown a plane before, because it's his duty to jump out, not fly it. However, naturally, this means that he's not afraid of a little height. So I'm very curious if Jason's actually going to learn to fly in that mission, and we also gotta have a plane mission, right? To fly the plane, where we can learn how to fly the plane, and this seaplane is just right for that. Now, Lucia is known for wearing an ankle tag at the beginning of the story because she just got out of prison and they want her to stay close. But if Jason can fly planes and helicopters, then that's gonna still give you the ability to roam around the whole map at the beginning of the game, right? There is speculation that this ankle monitor prevents the player from actually unlocking an area at a certain beginning part of the game. And well, if Jason is able to fly, then I'm kind of curious on how that works, because that kind of contradicts it. And we can see that they're chasing this airboat right here, and this airboat also comes back a lot. You can see these guys, so maybe it's these guys who Jason and Brian get beef with or something. They might teach you how to hunt first, and then you get basically into a big old fight or something. But most notably, we have this screenshot where we have this airboat all the way in the back, and then we have some police helicopters with these hunting dudes stealing these alligators, probably having offed them, running away from there. So these guys, they also don't really play by the rules. So maybe Jason and Brian get a good connection with them because they're all like doing illegal stuff, but then maybe there's some betrayal. It's gonna be very interesting seeing what will happen in the Grass Rivers. In the next video, we will do a deep dive on Kel Hampton, who is a good friend of Jason Duval, and he unlocks a lot of features that are super cool for the open world and interactiveness between all these side characters. So if you want to watch that, click on the video at the top right. Thank you all for watching, thank you to the members, and I will see you guys next time. Let's get hyped, boys. Bye bye.